That is right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cord Redding. And that's a better response than I usually get. Like, usually when people first hear my name, it's a mixed response of, what was that? How do you spell that? But my favorite is when, like, their faces drop and all the color drains out of their body, like they've just seen a ghost, and I'm just standing there like, ma'am, I just ordered a macchiato, what's wrong? So I'm a freshman here at NDSU, and being a freshman, you have to introduce yourself a whole lot. So a lot of people have been really bewildered by my name. My favorite instance of this was in the first day of my Skills for Academic Success class. We were going through the line and saying our names, and I said that my name was Cord. You know, like a person whose name is Cord would say. And this professor looks at me, and I swear, without missing a beat, he just goes, oh, like umbilical? Have you ever been stopped dead in your tracks within 3 words of meeting someone? Like, what do you say to that? How do you respond to that? This man looked me in the face and immediately equated me to the before picture of a belly button. And like, the worst part of it wasn't even what he said. It was how he said it. There was a little break in there. Like, he had time to run over it in his head, go over it, proofread it even. And he still just throws the words at me. Like, his head was like a newspaper company, and some lower down intern clicked the wrong file trying to email it to their editor-in-chief. And the editor-in-chief gets the email and is like, this is terrible. Why did I get this? This has no relevant information at all. Publish this. I want this everywhere. Everyone needs to know about this. And then he just keeps going along in line like, oh, your name's Cord, like umbilical? Oh, your name's Randy, like regular human name? So, at the end of that day, I did what any normal, rational freshman in my situation would do. I dropped the class and got a new professor. Are you kidding me? I could not go through that entire semester as umbilical cord boy. No thanks. I would be done, finished, finito, no thank you. As I said before, I'm a freshman here at NDSU, and being a freshman, you kind of have to like improvise your way through a whole lot of things, and I've learned that I'm pretty good at it. I like to consider myself as the world's most depressing MacGyver. Like, there's nowhere else on the planet where you can look at a Trix yogurt carton and a straw and think, bowl breakfast. Or like a full garbage bag and think, you know what, I'm gonna defend my room from raiders with that. You think it's a joke, but you try making popcorn at 11:30 p.m. and not having some sleep-deprived 19-year-old burst through your door and go, y'all got food? And you need to defend your room somehow, and it's either the garbage bag or your roommate, and your roommate doesn't have very good handholds to swing him with. Luckily, though, I've had pretty good practice with this whole improv thing through my job out at Camp Wilderness Boy Scout Camp this past summer. Being a camp counselor is sort of like being a college freshman, but take the sleep deprivation of being a college freshman, multiply it by 7, add in the fact that you were eternally surrounded by sunburnt and carb-loaded 11-year-olds with a penchant for dabbing and getting lost, and you have what it feels like to be a camp counselor. Being a camp counselor, you know, it's sort of like being a shepherd, but all the sheep have had 19 Red Bulls, and you don't have limbs. Any of them. They're gone. You can't find them. So each of the staff had our ways to get around this whole sleep deprivation thing. My favorite way was a little breakfast I invented called the Red Ball. I don't know why I called it that. I thought that was creative. There are 4 ingredients to this Red Ball. 1, a cup of noodles, ramen packet. Doesn't really matter what flavor it is. I always prefer chicken. 2, a lot of Red Bull, like copious amounts, like enough to kill a small herd of cattle. And 3, a lot of extra strength coffee, because you don't want this energy to taste good. You want to suffer for this. And 4, just an overall willingness to accept death, because like this is enough caffeine to power the city of New York City for like 3 months that you're just putting into your body at the beginning of a day and thinking, you know what, this is a good idea. But it usually works. But sometimes it would just like raise my heartbeat a whole lot and then not make me any less tired. So I'd just be sitting there and my heart would be beating literally out of my chest, and I'd be looking down and be like, There were supposed to be ribs to stop that. And I'd just be in the front of a class, like dead tired, and I'd just be like, this is awful. The other like weird side effect that it had was, you guys know, like in some TV shows or movies, there's this thing called astral projection, where you're unconscious and your like consciousness comes out of your body and does things. Well, this kind of does that, except your body decides to get up and do things on its own. It's awful. It's so bad. Like, the first time that it happened to me this past summer, it was a Saturday. It was our work day, and I woke up like really late, and I was dead tired. And I get up and I make myself a Red Bull, and I'm like, oh, all right. And then I was in the lake, like no in between there. Like 6 hours had passed, and I was like, it's a good thing that my body can swim. In fact, my body can swim better without my conscience in it than with my conscience in it. Like, I am terrible at swimming. I immediately like got consciousness and was like, oh no, 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 no. And this is also a bad thing, like when you're in front of a bunch of 11-year-olds. Like, it's always a risk, because like, you never know what your body's gonna do. Like, the last week of camp, there was the first day of classes on the last week of camp, and I was dead tired from Sunday, and I made myself a Red Bull on the way out to the Nature Lodge, which I worked at. And I got there, and I was feeling okay. I was like, you know what, this might be good. This might be good. And then I started feeling like my body go forward, but my consciousness stay here, and I'm like, no, 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 no. There's 11-year-olds here that you're gonna make a fool of me in front of. Come on! And my body just goes up to the front of the class and is like, hey guys, my name is Gordon Redding, I'll be teaching this class, and I'm sitting in the back, I'm like, yeah, you go, you do your job and be responsible. And you could just hear in the back of the class, this little teeny voice, he's like, oh, you mean like umbilical? Thank you guys, I've been Gordon Redding, and next up,